here on Fox Chicago for our weekly segment with former Bears offensive lineman Steve Edwards. Steve, truly a tale of two halves here by the Bears against Green Bay on Saturday, down 21-3 at the half, down 21-6 going into the fourth quarter. How is this team able to come back like this? We've seen it all season long. This was their seventh fourth quarter comeback win.
This is just what they do, right? Just when you feel like they're not going to be able to do it, where it became a daunting task once again. This time, defense not playing bend don't break. They kind of broke, where there were touchdowns, not field goals. So the team being down 21-3 didn't feel good at halftime, but they come storming back, chipping away. Defense steps up in the second half. It's just self-belief. This is what this team does. They just, I don't know what hits their system where they have this belief, but I think it affects the other teams, because if they start slipping and this team starts scoring points, I think the other team starts having the effect where they start meltdown. So it's not more so this team knows what to do in those circumstances. I think it's starting to affect the other teams where they start making the mistakes and their coaches start playing conservative and making mistakes. So it's having an effect, not just on their side where they wake up, but it's affecting the other team and how they perform as well.
Well, one thing we've learned about Ben Johnson so far this season, how aggressive he is as a play caller. He went for it multiple times on fourth down. Did it feel like he was calling the game for a bit here and going for it on fourth down because he didn't trust his defense, especially in the first half?
Absolutely. The previous game, in that Detroit game where you remember he mumbled to himself at the end of the game where he said, I should have went for it. That's where everybody perceived. And obviously, I think it started reflecting right away when the defense was struggling, where he was just being ultra aggressive, even inside your own, at your own 30, on your own side, going for it on fourth down. A little bit of desperation, but trying to just recognizing our defense. But I just never seen anything like that where you just don't believe in your defense that much. But I think it was just, hey, he's trying to do whatever he had to do in the playoff moment. It all ended up working out, but it was a level of like, hey, the defense is just not stopping them at all. We're trying to get, and I think it's also trying to get this offense going. So a little bit of both, but obviously, those things turn to the better come the second half, and this team united and got the job done.
Well, one of the things we saw in this game, Ozzy Trapilo going down with a patellar injury. He's been placed on IR. First off, when you look at this offensive line and how they performed just throughout the whole entire season, what does this mean for guys like Theo Benedict and Braxton Jones, too?
A huge loss. I think Trapilo is playing some of the best ball. He was, he really stabilized that left tackle position. So a tough loss, but you're in a blessed position if you come with the Chicago Bears with the depth of the O-line and, Theo Benedict having been a guy who started most of the season up until Trapilo took over for him, has that experience. We've had success with him at left tackle. So there's, could it be a little bit of drop off? Maybe not much. I think maybe a little bit in some of the pass protection where he's a little more stout. But you don't drop off too much where you got two guys who had a lot of experience. And then here comes Braxton Jones, who will provide the depth at left tackle and at the other tackle position as well, who has starts and obviously this year and obviously previously seasons. So you have you're blessed if you're Chicago Bears to have that depth. Obviously, you don't want to see nobody get hurt at this time of the year, but the depth is what you need. And we've been there as a team where the next man has to step up and get the job done. So I don't think this team bats an eye. We keep on moving as planned.
All right, so this team has experienced a lot of comeback magic so far this season. Ben Johnson, Steve, has talked about wanting to play his best football right now, right, in December and January. This is the time frame where you have to be playing your best football. Listen, if we're going to be honest here, the Bears have yet to play a full 4 quarters here, but somehow they just continue to manage to pull off these incredible wins. Do you think this team is built to make a postseason run?
Absolutely, we're in it right now, right? We've accomplished the most difficult task, I believe, was getting over that hump of Green Bay, that fear of losing to Green Bay in the first round, that getting that monkey off your back, so to speak, and you did it in the playoffs. Now you can put that to rest. And it's important you put it to rest because I think some of the fan base is still celebrating the Green Bay victory. But I'm sure inside that in Hallis Hall, those guys have put that to rest on Monday and started focusing on the Los Angeles Rams. And you're going to have to play 4 quarters because this is a different monster. This is the number one offense in the league. You have a quarterback. Stafford, who's playing at MVP level, that might be the MVP. You just have a complete team that's at some points were the number one team. You got McVay over there, championship. These guys have won the championship in the previous year. So you're going to have to put all 4 quarters together in order to win and move on. And just to even think about the Super Bowl, you're going to have to play 4 quarters. Yeah, we know in our back pocket we have that ability to come back, but you don't want to start kind of playing this type of ball as we get deeper and deeper. And he played quality teams, not only quality teams, elite teams like the Rams.
Real quick, before we continue on with this Bears and Rams matchup on Sunday, we have to talk about real quick Dennis Allen, the defense, the adjustments he made in the second half. I want to read this to you. Josh Jacobs, okay, in the first half had 12 carries for 49 yards. In the second half, 6 carries for 6 yards. What did DA do defensively, man, in the second half?
Well, you hate to see somebody get hurt like TJ Edwards, but DeMarco Jackson was somebody who I think has stepped up in the past when our linebackers were decimated. And you wanted to see him on the field. You hate that it happened to TJ Edwards. But when DeMarco Jackson came in, he brought this physicality. That was his one component. You started seeing DA come with outside pressure. But at the bottom line, these guys started just playing relentless ball with great motors. They started winning their individual battles. And I said that going into the game, for the defense to be successful, they have to win some of their individual battles. But obviously, DA did some adjustments with outside blitzes, dropping back into zones. But overall, this defense just kind of came to life. They got energized, and without them, this comeback would not have been possible.
Let's talk more about Bears and Rams on Sunday. Rams defense, strong on third downs and in the red zone. What's going to be key here for Caleb Williams and this offense?
Run the ball. I think it's time to we have to get back to running the ball. We see it in glimpses, but I want to see us get back to running the ball. And I watched film on the Rams. Really stout defense. Nothing really to ride home about as far as I think they're 10th ranked defense possibly. I think they're not a team that gets a lot of sacks, but they get a lot of. They're stout up front. They run a lot of stunts and blitz, different stunts and twists. But this is a team that I see we can have a lot of success in the run game if we stick to the run game. I want to see this be a game like we did against the Eagles. That type of run game, what we did and dominated. That's what we're going to need in this cold weather in order the time of possession, but also it hurts when somebody's this O-line like ours is being physical and just pounding you. A Swift Monungai pounding you, then that's going to open up the play action. We need to get back to the run, and we need to get back to it right away, help that defense out. I think that's going to be the key to help Caleb have a great game.
You mentioned the Eagles game. Bears rushed for 281 yards there against the Eagles. How about Matthew Stafford? Obviously, you mentioned him playing at a high level, MVP level. He's coming into this game, though. He sprained his index finger on his throwing hand. First off, Ben Johnson has familiarity with him in Detroit. How do you slow down this Rams offense?
It's going to be tough. Puka Nakua. I mean, those guys, Devontae Adams, uh, all really elite type of players. Stafford, Devontae Adams, and you can see Puka Nakua where he's headed. Uh, Basically, Hall of Fame guys. You're talking about there. Um, Stafford's coming in with you got to get him off his spot. He's coming in with that sprained hand. Obviously, you want to get pressure. You want to get hits. You want him to feel it. You want him to feel this cold weather. Obviously, he's playing, but that cold weather is going to stiffen that up. There's a couple ways. Running the ball, keeping him on the sidelines where he's not, on there, keeping that hand warm. Also, hits, getting him off his spot, making him move around. Let's not make him comfortable back there, because if he's comfortable and he's getting that ball out, he's having great success. So defensively, we got to lay some hits on them, and I want to see this defense roll over that confidence. And it's been a tough 3 week stretch for this defense, but they gained some confidence in that second half. I think this is something that they can roll over to this game and give them a little confidence and juice, which I think we'll have no problem getting with this fan base.
Steve, it is supposed to be single digits on Sunday. I think it's safe to say this will be the coldest game that the Rams will play in. Truly, though, how much of a factor is weather here? Because I hear fans, I hear people talking about the weather's going to be a factor, right? LA, do they really going to know how to play in this kind of weather? This is bear weather football, so how much of a factor truly is weather going to be in here?
I've been asking this question all week, Tina, and having played in this weather, it's what you do with the weather. I think everybody expects this weather, and it's just you got to do something with the weather. Back in 2005, we played the Houston Texans when I was there, and we thought, hey, this is an expansion team in the third year. They're going to have problems with this weather. It was freezing. Your spit coming out of your mouth was freezing in your beard. So what happened in that game? First drive, we go right down the field. We fumble. The whole tides turn, and we lose the game 24-5. We didn't do anything with that weather. They felt great, Houston, Texas. Then we fast forward a few years. We play Atlanta Falcons with Michael Vick. Totally different. We laid the hits on Michael Vick. We made him not uncomfortable with the rest of the Atlanta Falcons. Totally different ball game. We dominate that game. So it comes down to what you do with the weather. You can't depend on that weather. You have to execute. You have to be physical, and you got to make them uncomfortable where they don't want to be out there. Because if they're having success, they're sitting out there just like they've been in this weather. They scoring touchdowns and feeling really good. The weather won't be a factor to the Rams, but if we make it hard for them, we be physical, we're executing, we're running the ball, and we're taking the ball away and getting to the quarterback, this is when they start kind of folding, and this is when the weather gets uncomfortable, and this is when they want to get out of there, and this is when they make mistakes, and this is when we can take advantage of it.
Well, we know for a fact Ben Johnson will have his team prepared. I saw a report earlier this week that the team's been practicing actually without heaters there because Ben Johnson wanted this team to get used to it. And you know what Ben calls this kind of weather? Bear weather. That's what that's called. All right, Bears getting ready for the Rams on Sunday in the divisional round. And Steve Edwards, thank you so much for your time. We'll see you back here next week.
See you next week. Bear down.